Good morning, 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 good morning. Let me see if our guest host is on here today because I don't know if he had the number or not. Remember the number. Everybody just hold on 1 second. Let me get a hold of him real quickly here. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bree Clemens. All right, well, Mr. Bree Clemens, I hope he has a number. We're gonna get him on here in just a second, everybody. I just checked him a little while ago. Mr. Carter down in San Diego there, sir, how you doing? I see you got your headphones on, there you go. Hey, while we're waiting for him to get on here, because I just texted about 30 minutes ago, looking forward to have him on here. Everybody, hold on 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. 1 second, 1 second. Okay. Well, first of all, good morning. I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Melissa Vaughn. Thank you so much for joining. Miss Natasha Ismail, will you take care of the guests in the waiting room? That we got a lot more people jumping on right now. Thank you so much. Wow. Well, let's see here. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to Ms. Natasha Ismail, one of our superstar regional director. Did a phenomenal job on Monday. I listened to it. You know, let me tell you something. If you guys miss these events, go back and re-listen to them because they are so powerful. Go back and re-listen. Go back and re-listen. I listened to Mondays last night. I mean, if I had a bag of popcorn, I told her I'd have to put it down. It was so wonderful on Monday. Go back to the channel. Go back to the channel. Go back to the channel and re-listen. Re-listen to some of these. Monday was amazing. Ms. Ismail did a fabulous job Monday. Had to give her A+ on that. Mr. Corey Alexander, thank you for joining us. Kinko over in Japan. Miss Belinda Batiste, thank you so much. Caroline Baker, part of the Baker organization, thank you. Mr. Cheston Gray, newly promoted ETL, thank you so much. Congratulations, sir. Wow, that's awesome. Mr. Chris McDowell, thank you so much. Mr. Winston, thank you so much. Miss Castro down in Phoenix, man, she did a fantastic job on this past Sunday training. It was really, really, really amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Miss Castro. Miss Zoe Duffy, thank you so much. Miss Tracy Gilmore, thank you so much. Miss Marie, thank you so much. Miss Pat Robinson down in Oakland, California. Oakland. Mr. Payon in Japan, thank you so much, sir. Wow. And yes, I'll be doing a 5 o'clock presentation for you today, sir. I got it in my schedule. Yes, sir. Mr. Tim Carrard up in Minnesota. You tried calling me rather than text the call a few minutes ago. I got you, sir. I got you. Hey, Miss Carter. Mr. Carter, don't gave him a shout out there with his black shirt on down in San Diego with his headphones on. Look at that young man. That guy's amazing. Miss Marcia Carter in Fresno, California. Thank you so much, dear, for joining the call. Miss Joyce Brewer. She's always so faithful, never missed a one. Down in Mr. Ismail. Mr. Ismail. ¿Qué pasó, señor? Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, Mr. Who's that? Valdez, G. Valdez, thank you so much. Regional Director, Mr. Julian Lewis, who did such a phenomenal job yesterday. Oh my God, these two are killing it. They will be back. They will be back all of next in August. In August. That's right. July. No, September. Anyway, I got them coming up. I can't tell you when. Mr. Julian Lewis did a fantastic job yesterday. I hope y'all caught it. It was amazing. Miss Delilah up in Colorado, part of the Bakery organization. Thank you so much for joining us. Miss Evelyn Phibbs, another regional director out in Fresno, California area. Mr. David Wright, thank you so much for joining us. Wow, we got a great call lined up. Let me tell you something. I am just so excited. Thank you. This young man, I asked him last week. Let me give a little insight. I sent a massive text message out this morning, massive text message out this morning that he was going to be joining us. Got started at 19. He's 20 years old. He got started when he was 19, I believe. 19, I think it was. Working at Applebee's, right? Working at Applebee's. 3 years later, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna let him tell the story. Father, and 27-year-old now. He has his time back. He wants to be the #1 person in ACN. He's also an amazing leader in his area of the country. And I tell you what, he did a couple meetings for us and brought the house down. He talked about some of his rise to financial gold in ACN and how people around him just took it and then back down. I love his stories because he gives you hope. Now, I'm going to tell you something. at a young age, he started ACN, built it up, made, I mean, a lot of, yeah. And since then, some things happened. And I want him to take this time today to tell the story. And maybe he can go back because we have a lot of new people on here. What happened? We have a lot of new people on here. Without further ado, my dear friend, Regional Vice President Platinum, Mr. Shakeel Cooper. Where is he at? Where is he at?
He just lost
Mr.
connection.
LeBlanc,
He'll be
thank you
right
so
back.
much for joining. Mr. Chris King, I see you, sir. Miss Maria, thank you. Let's see who else we got on. Mr. David Dwight. Oh, there he is. Mr. Cooper, your phone's on mute, sir.
Hello, can you hear me now?
There you go. There you go. We can hear you now, sir.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was actually still logged into Senior Vice President, Mr. Aaron Burst, Zoom. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear right now.
Well, first, I do want to thank you for all of those kind words and getting me a chance to be back on this call today. It's really a blessing to be able, to speak to the ACN family. I know we haven't seen each other in so long. It feels like years, but I'm just really blessed and fortunate to be a part of this amazing company. And a little bit about myself for the people that don't know who I am. My name is Shakeel Cooper. I currently got involved in ACN at the age of 20 years old. I was just a college student working at Applebee's. When a close friend of mine came out and said, "You open to making some money?" I said, "Sure." I got started on the spot, took it really seriously. My life changed. And I went through a lot of ups and downs throughout my journey. But fast forward today, I have a team of about 1,200 plus business partners. We get paid on 5,000 customers every single month. And we're on track to becoming a senior vice president first quarter 2021. And it's all because of the amazing system that ACN have put in place. So, I'm really fortunate to be on this call today.
Mr. Cooper, I know your history, and I want you to kind of go back because a lot of people don't know your history. And I want you to talk about some of the struggles when you first got in, and then how you hit the height and you were doing so well with your group, the Wolf Pack. I remember the Wolf Pack, and then how the demise, and then back up again. So let everybody see your rise, your plateau, your fall, and then back to the rise again where you're at today. And then let people know some of the mistakes you made, because I want them to learn, because I have so much respect for you. Because I'm telling you something, for a young man, I watch you from a distance, and you and I would talk, and I would try to kind of help you a little bit, but I loved you enough because your spirit was so strong that you are SVP, not in the makings, you're already SVP. But the key of it is, I want you to share with some of the things and trials and tribulations you had to go through to learn, like you always talked about, to make you the man you are today, to make you the father you are today, to make you such a great leader today.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely. So for the people who don't know, when I did get involved, I was 20 years old, and, I got off to a rocket fast start. My first month in the business, made a check, and that was really, really good for me because I made a check with a comma in my first 30 days, just working at Applebee's. You went from getting paid $3.63 an hour plus tips, working at the only Applebee's in Baltimore City. So you can agree I wasn't making a lot of money, but what I did was I had the work ethic. I went to work every single day because I had to pay for college out of pocket. But more importantly, I was taking care of myself. My parents, when the age of 17 years old, I stopped asking my parents for money. And the reason why, because I needed to grow up, and I felt as though I could not depend on my parents forever. So at a young age, I realized that in order for me to have some type of true success in life, that I have to own a business. So when a close friend of mine showed me ACN, I started right on the spot. A couple weeks later, I made a decision to go all the way in. I stopped going to school. I stopped going to my job at Applebee's, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make this thing happen. And since, November of 2013, this is all I've been able to do. So imagine, for your whole entire 20s, you're able to have your time back. And that's one of the most important things that I got out of ACN, was that I got my time back while most of my friends, was partying and doing all kinds of things that most young, 20 something year olds do, you know, I was building a business for times like this today where, you know, most people are very, very uncertain of where their next paycheck is going to come from. But I already knew at 20 years old that the world would never just stay the same. Things are going to change. So by being able to prepare myself in ACN, I took it serious. And, you know, in 6 months, I hit a position back then called team coordinator, then a position called regional director, where I helped 2 of my close friends get promoted to the same position. And I did that in 10 months. By the age of 21 years old, made a ton of money. And then from there, you know, close friends got jealous because of all of the success. You know, when you watch someone go from being at Applebee's to literally on their way to literally being at the top of the company in a few years, you know, people around you, you know, they'll get jealous and envious. And from there, you know, my business, people quit. They was able to rip my team apart, you know. So imagine putting so much time, effort, money, and years into building an organization. And when people leave, they start to snatch you from different legs of your business. And all it do is create a circus in your organization. And you're going to have people that's going to leave. You're going to have people that, you know, don't want to be a part of the foolishness, you know, and they're going to have people that they just disappear. So when I had that happen to me, it really crushed me because I put my all, my life, and everything into building it. So I had to go out there and to rebuild my business. You know, these was 2 of my close friends. So being able to see that you know, your business took this big hit and it came from the people that you started with, it really messed me up in a bad way, and it put me down, you know, to a dark place. You know, I call it the sunken place, because when you get to the top of, you know, something that you're doing, you're putting your all to, and you lose it, it can crush you. And that's what I noticed. Most people don't ever, you know, when people get crushed in a business, they never want to be a business owner again, because sometimes it's so hard that most people, they don't want to feel those emotions again. And I don't want anyone to feel those emotions. So I just had to get back to work. So I remember moving to Texas, you know, driving in Houston, Texas in my car, because, you know, I didn't have no money for a plane ticket. So I got in my car, I drove to Houston, I moved all my stuff. And from there, you know, I slept on an air mattress, and I rented a car from my son's mom, one of her friends. He rented me a 2005 because I lost everything. You know, when you have a high lifestyle and you lose everything, you know, it only takes a couple months for you to fall all the way behind. So I rented a car. You know, I lived on an air mattress for years. You know, I remember having to sleep in my mom's closet, my parents' closet. I took over that closet, put an air mattress in there, and I was living in there for a year plus, building my ACN business. I remember having to move to my grandmother's basement, live in my grandmother's basement, building my business. So, you know, I went from, you know, high-rise downtown Baltimore to living in basements, sleeping on couches, you know, for years. You know, imagine for years, you don't even know what it feels like to sleep in your own bed, because I'm just building a business. I'm not just thinking about my current situation. So I did that for years. And, you know, I was able to hit regional vice president in 3 years and 11 months after losing everything and being able to have my son. My son was born a month before I hit regional. No, I actually hit regional vice president a month before my son was born. And that shift right there really pushed me to really, really take this business serious and to just make my comeback. So, you know, I took some time, you know, raising my son. And then from there, I just got back to the grind. And today, you know, my business is flourishing more than ever. Leaders, people in my organization, you know, they're independent. You know, and one thing I love about ACN is that, you know, the goal is to be able to build independent business owners where people are running their own business independently without you. And I look at building my business like building a 500 corporation company. We can agree that not only one person is running a whole company. There's different departments, there's different people in position and able to keep this ship running. And in order for that to happen, you know, my people have to make money. So my goal was help my core solid people that stayed down with me, put them in a position where they can build ACN with less stress, because we're working it as a unit. And fast forward today, you know, I have 2 people literally that's less than 1,000 points from regional vice president, and that's going to help me get senior vice president wrapped up. And who would have ever thought that those 2 same legs of business, where my ex-best friends in them left, those are the 2 legs today that's about to be promoted to regional vice presidents in the next couple of months. So if they would have just stuck around, they have an organization each with thousands, 2,000 plus points just in that organization that they're not getting paid off of today. So by going out there, just making it happen and believing in myself and not just giving up on people all the way, but still having hope, you know, to help other people. Because like I said, I was crushed. You know, I even took some time back to myself, because you're pouring so much time and energy and things into other people, but who's going to pour it into you? So after a while, you just become drained. And that's what happened to me, you know, even after all of the success and everything, you know, I became really drained because I've been pouring into people for so much years, and, you know, and I'm just getting beat up and beat up and beat up. And after a while, you got to ask yourself, you know, how much are you going to take? But with me, I'm never going to give up, and I'm never going to quit because I come from Baltimore City. If you know anything about Baltimore City, it's a dangerous place literally in the whole entire world. It's probably dangerous in Iraq. And the reason why I say that, because I grew up in an environment that's very, very negative. I grew up in an environment where, you know, most people don't make it out. And the reason why, because of jealousy and envy, you know, because when you come up in an environment where people don't see success, people are, you know, in poverty, people are on drugs, people are just, you know, they're just living a whole different lifestyle, and they see you rise out of that same situation and you take a whole different route, and you made a decision now where you can have time freedom to just live life free. You're not just stuck on the block. You're not just stuck in one city, you know, doing the same thing over and over, but you basically become free. And that's what I tell people. For me, in doing the ACN, it's all about becoming a free man, because when I came to America at 9 years old from Trinidad, I did not come here for a job. I came here to be free. I didn't come to America to work a job, to just live like everyone else, because we can agree that I look at America as an ATM. Everyone come here to take out money and make money and send it back to their country. Why can't we have an opportunity where we're in America, where ACN opportunity that we offer services that every single person every 30 days are going to pay for? Why would I not want to put myself in the middle of a transaction that's already happening? Because I'm thinking 10, 20, 30 years from now, these bills are not going out of style. I never seen bills go out of style. I seen clothes go out of style, shoes go out of style. Bills never went out of style. I wish it did, but guess what? It's the reality. We're never going to stop paying bills. So what if I really took a business serious, and let's say for 10 years, I just put my head down? Do you imagine if you put your head down for a decade, how far you can be in life? Because that's how I looked at it. All my friends today, they're still partying, they're still living their life. And guess what? You know, I'm locked in. I changed my habits. While all my friends want to go to the mall and spend a whole bunch of money, take me to Marshalls, take me to Ross. I don't care how much money I have. I develop wealthy people habits, and wealthy people do not spend money on things that don't make them money. It just doesn't make sense. So when it came to ACN, I put my everything into it because I believed in it. I knew I was going to get a return on my investment. So when you know for a fact that you believe in something, nobody can stop you. And that's what happened to me. My belief level is so high that, you know, even since I've been involved, all my friends, everyone that hung around, my whole entire entourage, there's no one here other than my two core leaders and their team. So everyone that you started with, you're not going to finish with. I'm talking about people that you thought was your homeboy, your homegirl, you know, people that was rooting for you. And after a while, you look around, you know, if you ever went to college and said, look to your left, look to your right. Next year, these people won't be here. And it's true. So it happens, and I've seen that, and I realized that, you know, it takes a certain type of person to be able to just never give up and keep going. When you look left and look right, everybody else gives up. So what does that tell you about yourself? And what I realized about myself is that I'm strong to be able to continue to keep going while getting beat up and go through some of the things that most people never know about, and I share today because, you know, I want people to know that it's not an easy journey. It's not as easy as everyone see, because, you know, you're going to be tested. You know, whenever you're doing something great and whenever you're helping a lot of people, you're always going to be tested, because if you're not tested, you're not going to really show that you really want it. If something came to you too easy, you're not going to want it. Just think about most wealthy kids. You know, if they never had to work for the money and their parents give them a whole bunch of money, they're going to go broke in a couple of years. Why? Because they don't value it. And I read a quote that says, you don't value the water of every drop until you carry your own bucket. Let me say that again. Most people don't understand the value of every drop because they don't carry their own bucket, meaning know that if they don't eat, they don't survive. And that's my mindset, that I have to get up every single day and go out there and find a way to make some money and build my business, because I'm not relying on corporate America to take care of me. I'm not relying on the government to take care of me. I've always made a decision that when I got involved in ACN, I wanted to be independent from the government and everybody else. I wanted to be able to take this business serious. And what if I really was able to build a global business and really hit the position of senior vice president in my 20s? And I told everyone I was going to do it. But when I told people I'm going to do big things, guess what happened? Big obstacles coming away. But when big obstacles coming away, you got to have big faith. And with big faith, nothing can stop you. And that's really the secret to my success, is that I will never stop. No matter what, I done been through so much. What's the point of stopping now? What's the point of quitting now? What's the point of complaining now? I've came too far to complain about everything that I went through, because everything that I went through made me the person I am today. And the person I am today, listen, I'm happy that the person I became, because if I would have had the money and all of the things back then, I wouldn't have appreciated it, because I didn't understand the value. I didn't go through enough stuff, you know. Just think about, you know, gold. You know, before gold looked like gold, I think it's like black. And then it goes through a process. and it gets pressurized and it goes through so much, and then looks how it comes out. You know, gold is the number one, you know, mineral in the whole entire world. We use it in our phones, we use it in everything. So I look at myself kind of just like that gold rock that's just been put through so much stuff, and then come out. And you know, today things are really, really, really doing good, and it's all because it's never giving up. You know, most people give up too early. Most people give up when they get beat up over and over and over and over, and instead of just taking that next step and said, you know what, I'm going to keep pushing, they just throw in the towel. You know, but if I do throw in the towel, it's just to wipe my face off and keep going. You're muted.
That's very powerful what you said about bills don't go out of style. I think that's so incredible. Now I know that I knew there was something special about you. Came here from Trinidad, man, where they throw the women in the water, man. It's amazing how people come from other countries to America, and they look at us as and I'm not saying you, but we're lazy compared to, we don't know how to hustle. You know, I mean, how do you not make it in America, but the land of free and the home of the brave? But we have it so easy. I hate to say it that way, but we don't know how to hustle. And anybody coming from any other country go like, what? Libraries, free food, free what? They go to hustle and they always make it to the top. And Americans looking around like, what happened? We just don't have the opportunity. If every American, in my prayers, every American go to another country to see how bad off they are, and they'll come back home. Maybe they'll go back to work harder, because it's just the way it is, unfortunately. And I love the idea that you said, yeah, Baltimore City is pretty rough. How rough was it again?
It's still rough to this day. It's still rough.
Like Beirut is better than Baltimore City.
I mean, it's so bad that I have 5% tints on my car, so nobody can see me.
Wow.
You know, even though it's illegal, you know, my life is more important than that.
Well, tell everybody now you left Baltimore, went to Houston, and now you're taking time with your son. So talk about a little bit about that, and just, man, you just a bunch of.
So my son actually is going to be 3 in November, but I raised him in Texas. You know, I live out DC now, you know, but I'm still back and forth between here and Texas because I have a team here in Maryland. Like I said, it sacrifices, you know, my team still have to, they got to see me. They have to be around me. You know, we still have to, you know, help each other out through all of this that's going on. You know, my core people, I still have to spend time with them. But at the same time, you know, I also spend a lot of time with my son. And the reason why, because, you know, I want my son to just, all he knows is being free. He don't know what it is to have a babysitter. You know, he's home with his grandparents, his mom and them every single day. You know, he's basically, you know, living the life that I wish I had growing up, you know, spend all day, every day, don't have to worry about daycare. He's going to school online now and things like that. So, you know, just seeing him grow up in a whole different lifestyle, you know, it makes me happy, even though I'm sacrificing time away from him a lot of times and things like that. But the fact that my son is being raised as the person that I want him to be, you know, it means more to me than anything. So I do this ACM business for him. And, you know, I love the fact that, you know, I do get an opportunity where I have time freedom. And most people, they just get involved for the money. But when you understand that, you know, after a while, you know, it's not all about the money. It's about what you can do for the money, who you can help with the money and things like that, you know, who lives you can make better because you are making, you know, a certain amount of money. And for me, you know, because of ACN, you know, I'm not wealthy or rich yet, but I promise you I'm well on my way. And the reason why, because we have a system in place, you know, and I've been able to get a taste of some of the success. And I know for a fact, if I put in more work and I have a bigger team and more customer bases, that I can literally achieve everything that I want out of it for my son. So that's my biggest why. And as long as I have him, I'm going to continue to keep grinding. And that's why I do this business, is for my son. And if you don't have somebody that you do this business for, you better find somebody, because when times get hard, you're going to quit and do something else. And that's going to go back to what you said about, you know, most Americans, you know, it's too much opportunity. That's the problem. It's not that there's not enough opportunity, but when you can look left, look right, look south, look north, and there's a whole bunch of opportunity around you, you don't take advantage of having an opportunity. Me growing up in Trinidad and seeing how it is on an island, and then you come to America, it's like it's a whole nother world. You're like, what are these people doing? So when I came here, I didn't get a green card until I was 17 years old because they messed up. So I couldn't get it. So I started working washing cars at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then I worked as a year to get my to work as a lifeguard. And the next year I worked at Applebee's. So since the age of 11 years old, I've been working. Literally since 11 years old, since I came to America, I've been working. If it's under the table, over the table, on top of the table, serving tables, I did it all. And the reason why, because it's so much here, it's so much here to offer, My mind had changed from just thinking about, cars and things. I want to buy land, my goal is, own 1,000 acres of land in America, because why? It's for sale. It's possible. It's so much things that's possible in America if people actually go out there and search for it. And ACN is going to give you everything that you need to accomplish those dreams. So, that's really, really, really what got me excited.
One of the things I say about Trinidad, it's like going to a 7-Eleven there versus in America. Every half mile, there's a grocery store with 35,000, 26,000 products in each grocery store. Each grocery store in America has 26,000 products. So there's a grocery store. I got one a block away. I got one 5 blocks away, and I'm everywhere. And then you go to Trinidad, it's like almost one. And then people don't understand that because we're so, like I said, so much opportunity. But then when we get one, we don't stick with it because we're too busy looking. We need to put like blinders on, like at a race course, at a racetrack, and go straight in ACN. Don't look left, don't look right, don't look up. Just go sturdy straight. And that's what we need to do in America. And I really appreciate you saying that, because I hope that everybody understands that's why people come in and leave. They look for the next opportunity. I want to be the next Shakeel Cooper, the next when they need to just stay focused. Thank you, sir. While you're at it, I know before this is one of my IBOs, this is what IBO always does this, but I'm going to say this. Give us a glimpse of your DMO.
DMO, wake up, now with everything, being virtual, the goal is just, keep that relationship with your team. So by using Zoom, you can really, get everyone together. And the reason why, because before you had to actually meet up and things like that. So, the goal is to start your day, talking to your team, building that relationship, talking to your leaders, seeing what they're doing. You're not being a manager, but if you don't know what's going on in your business to a certain extent, then you really don't have any business. So, I check in with my core leaders. Like I said, I treat it like building, a 500, corporate company. I have different people that's running different parts of my organization. I don't check in with all of their people, but with certain parts of my business, I just check in with the core people. With my open line people, I talk to them, webinars, whatever they need. Basically, the goal is just to always be available for your team if they need you. That's the whole entire purpose, because most of the time, once you build a solid business, a solid foundation, you're going to feel as though, you just only have to talk to the newest people. Why? Because you have other people in positions that's helping you run those different parts of your organization. So the key is to find leaders. If you don't have any leaders, then you're just going to be building everywhere. The goal is to develop people in certain parts of your organization, deal with them, and everything trickles down. That way you can work smart, not work hard. And that's what I tell people. The difference between me, when I first got involved in ACN, I worked really, really, really hard. But then I realized you got to work really, really hard, but you got to work really, really smart, because you will burn yourself out trying to attend. I can't attend to 1,200 people. So I have to work with a few people and put a few people in position to work with everybody else. And we're teaching them the same system. So if I'm there, if I'm not there, guess what? The same thing is being trained. And this is why I'll tell you why it works. In the past 6 days alone, in my organization, we promoted 2 RDs. One is 18 years old and one is 65 years old. Everyone in the middle, what's your excuses?
Whoa, drop the mic right there. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Real quickly, I love it. Man, let that sink in. Let that sink in, everybody. Let that sink in. Say that one more time.
I forgot what I even just said.
65 and 18. I love it.
65 and 19. What's your excuse? Everyone in the middle, you have no excuses, because
That's
I literally
right.
watched a 19-year-old college student that he's broke. I'm talking about, I had this position when I was 21. He's a 19-year-old college student, and he lost both of his sisters died a year ago, through a car accident, and he never missed an event. He literally kept going, kept grinding. And right now, you meet these type of people that's kind of just like yourself. They might be a little bit younger, but to me, just seeing that some people that get involved in this opportunity and they got a big why and they just made it happen just shows that, I'm not only special, I just have a certain mindset, and other people have those mindsets. You just got to develop yourself and become that person so you can attract these type of people into your business.
I love that. 19 at 65 and anybody in between, what's your problem? I love that because it's so true. There's no excuse. We live in America. We just got too many things to look at. There is no excuse for anybody. That's so true. Man, I wish,
No one
man,
should be
let
broke
me
in
be quiet.
America.
Let me be quiet. Let me get off my
No one
soapbox.
should be broke in America.
I know,
Too
man,
much
but you know what?
opportunity.
We have too many things that we're just so lazy about. Anyway, let me shut up if I get on my high horse because it's about you today. Tell us, what does the future hold for Mr. Cooper?
Well, my future, honestly, is I want to become a real estate mogul. And the reason why I say that, because they're not going to be making any more land. And right now, you know, I study a lot of successful people like Robert Kiyosaki and all those people. And they said when a recession is happening, this is when people become wealthy because you have more opportunities. There's a shift that's going on in the world. And either you can shift with the world and adapt and become a player in the world, or you can be stuck in the old world thinking that it's going to come back. So my goal is real estate. And the reason why, because everyone needs a place to lay. But more importantly, I want to have my own land, you know. And the reason why, because if you have land, you can do whatever you want to do. You know, you can grow your own food. I'm vegan, so, you know, I don't eat meat. I want to grow my own food. You know, I want to be able to have my own community for my family or my team to just come to and they just see a different way of living, you know, and not the typical 9 to 5. Because once you have a free mindset, you know, the things that you think about, the things that you want shift from just being materialistic things to being things that's going to be able to help people for generations to come. And I just want to set up whereas though my son don't ever have to worry about, you know, nothing, you know, he can be able to do what he want to do and not have to worry about, you know, do my daddy have money to help me support this business? But whenever he said, hey, listen, Dad, I want to do this, I said, okay, go do it. It's no excuses. So I want to put myself in a position where money is never an issue. I'm not just doing it for a certain amount of dollar amount. I just want to never, ever have money to be an issue in my life. And I know that by investing in real estate and purchasing large properties of land all across the world, that's one way for a fact that I know I can generate generational wealth one day to my family. So that's one of my goals.
I love generational wealth, man. Matter of fact, it starts at home, and I love what you're teaching your son at an early age because I taught my kids too. But the blessing is also money is freedom, and freedom is money, and they both coincide with each other. You know, it's wonderful. You know, like you said, right now we have such a great opportunity. Never in our lifetime has God stopped the world on its axis. We have 333 million people in the U.S. alone. That the clouds that open up, the stars that lined up. We have a home-based business. We have a perfect business for everybody to be a part of. And it took everything to happen for people to wake up to the opportunity of here's a business you can work from home and get paid residual income. And that is such a powerful thing. And I know you're doing a great job in Baltimore, out in Houston, Texas, you're building. And I know you will be that senior vice president in 2021, because if you're not, I'm gonna come after you. But but
the hardest part is almost done. The hardest part is almost
done. I know. And that's another thing, because you have that tenacity. You've always had backbone. You had posture. You have all the ingredients, and you go day by day, night by night, and you'll do whatever it takes, you know, to get to the, you know, whatever it takes right way to do what you got to do to make it happen. And you're committed to it. And I wish more and more people would be so committed, so in the trenches, that won't stop until they get where they want to go. And I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. You know, it's definitely, like you said, it's definitely being in the trenches. You know, if you got to get dirty. You know, my mentor told me that, you know, doing Asian is like going through a dump truck looking for gold. But when you find that gold, it's going to be worth it. You know, you find those couple of people, it's going to be worth it. But you got to go through the dump. You got to go through the dump. And most people, they scared to get their hands dirty.
That's right. They're scared. I don't know why they're scared. But you know, the more you dig, the deeper it gets, the more gold you find. But you got to get out there and go for it. And you got to get dirty. You got to get ugly. You got to get out there to make it happen for your family. And you know what? The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the more you dig, the more lucky you get. If people think you're lucky, I says luck stands for laboring under correct knowledge. And I get lucky every day. The more I go out there and talk to people, the luckier I get.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. I tell people it's a numbers game. You know, it's not, people think that certain people have this thing about them, that this superpower that they can just go out there and recruit anyone. But when you really break it down, you know, those people are just talking to more people, and their team is talking to more people and showing more people the opportunity. It's nobody has a one upper or anyone. It's just the person that talks to the most people and a team that shows the most people the opportunity are always going to make the most money. It's just a numbers game. You got to play the numbers. Don't play yourself.
There you go. Some will, some won't, somewhere 6 will. You just got to go through the numbers. There's no shortcut to success. And the only place, listen to this, the only place that success comes before work
is in the dictionary.
Is in a dictionary. Give us a few words in closing, sir, because I know we're taking up a lot of your time, but we appreciate you so much.
A few words, honestly, would be just really take ACN serious. And the reason why I say that, because looking back today, I thank myself so much that I took it serious when I first got it. And I didn't wait until what's going on right now. See, most people, and what that showed me is that a lot of people that's getting promoted now, they could have got promoted a long time ago. But the reason they didn't, because people wait until they're in a situation where they need before they make a decision to act. So don't wait until something happens to act. Plant your seeds today. Plant your seeds 5 years ago. You know, most people always ask a question all the time. I was like, when's the best time to plant a tree? 100 years ago, not today, because it might take 100 years for that tree to get so, but you never know. What if you planted the seed 5 years ago? You know, what kind of labor, what kind of fruit that you will be getting today? And that's what happened to me. I read a book called GoPro, and it said that most people that become a network marketing professional, it happens about your 7th year in business. And the reason why they said that, because it takes about 10,000 hours of doing something consistently to become a professional. So you had to do something for at least 7 years, every day or every other day. You have to condense that time frame. It don't got to take you 20 years. It can take you 5 years, because now I see that because I planted seeds years ago. Listen, RDs and stuff is going to start popping every 2 to 3 weeks in my business. Kind of like, I think it was the guy that they said, the Banneker, the guy that did the 40-yard dash, and nobody could do it until he did it. And then once he did it, everyone felt as though they can do it. And now, you know, everyone's beating the race. So once people see what's possible from you and what you can do, what you're able to help other people do, they're going to start to believe in themselves. And the most dangerous thing in this business is when people start believing in themselves. Because when they start believing in themselves, they grab control of their business. They carry it like that. Just think about having a baby. You don't want anybody with your baby. It's your baby. So they start treating that business like it's their baby, and now you're leveraged. You're building leverage income. The whole entire goal of network marketing is to have a team so big that, you know, you become a legend. You become a myth. You're just there to help them after a while, because you've helped so much people that you gave them the blueprint. You don't always have to be there, but you have to put people in a position where if you're there, if you're not there, that the show do not stop. But more importantly, the show continue to grow even more because they have the system and they have the blueprint. So that's what I look at this business as. Just help people get what they want. And once you do that, they're going to believe in themselves enough that they're going to go over there and they're going to help you achieve everything that you want without you even knowing it.
Man, that's so powerful. I love that. That is so true. You just got to go out there and just get dirty first. That is so powerful. Hey, thank you. Hey, listen, folks, can we give Mr. Cooper a hand? Can we show him some love? Show him some love, everybody. Come on. All over the world. Come on, show him some love. We got people on here from Japan. We got people on from Mexico. We got people on from Colombia. We got people on from the UK. We want to thank you so much for just sharing your insight, man, because I have so much respect for you. I watched you through the years grow as a young man into a dad and now to a superstar leader in our business. And I can't wait to see your promotion next year, 2021, as SVP.
First quarter.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tomorrow morning, everybody, same bat time, 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific Coast time. We got the Chicago Mob will be on here. The Chicago Mob will be on here tomorrow morning. Yes, you heard me right. The Chicago Mob will be on here for part 2 this Thursday. Mr. Cooper, thank you so much, man. Look at all the remarks, Scott. Thank you a million. Wow, look at all that. Look at all that coming to you, sir.
I can't wait to see everyone. I can't wait to see everyone. I'm ready to retire this. As soon as this is going to be retired. As soon as this is going to be retired. Who is next? Who won it? Who wants this? If you want it, you got to go out there and make it happen. Because guess what? Anyone can do it.
That's right. God bless you, my friend. Thank you so much for a dynamite call today. Thank you, man. Be safe. God bless.